Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be discussing my thoughts of the main lead male character from Arifureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. He is the one who will destroy his enemies who stand in his way. He is accompanied by beautiful girls who go with him on his quest and journey, and he's also known as the Monster of the Abyss. I'm talking of course, Hajime Nagumo. In my opinion, Hajime Nagumo is by far the series' most badass, strong, coolest, awesome dude in the franchise. And I have to admit, every time I see him in the show, he actually wrecks the place by actually destroying his enemies without hesitation. And he's just so cool actually. I mean, both his weapons and of course his vehicles, they're just so awesome, and what makes Hajime Nagumo awesome is himself actually, his appearance. I mean, that awesome jacket, that prosthetic arm, and that eye patch, and it's just so incredible to see this amazing strong dude to be so much badass and awesome. And that's my opinion of the character, how incredible Hajime Nagumo is in the series. He is so incredible that Hajime Nagumo is absolutely my personal favourite character in the series. He is my personal favourite because his character grows throughout the course of the journey of this series. His character journey starts actually from the Abyss. Even it's very different from the light novel from the first volume of the start of Hajime's story and his journey. Well, I actually always prefer the anime adaptation of seeing Hajime Nagumo down in the Abyss instead of starting his story at high school before he was summoned to the world of Tortus. Down in the Abyss, Hajime Nagumo was actually left abandoned, humiliated, suffered and also in pain because of the loss of his left arm by one of the monsters down in the Abyss. This is because one of his classmates actually fired a fire spell right at him, and it was so upsetting to see Hajime down in the Abyss suffered and humiliated that his humanity was starting to slip away from him. His humanity, I can describe it as a glassy heart with a glowing candle inside, but when he was suffering down in the Abyss, humiliated and abandoned, his humanity was actually starting to slip away from him, and that candle light was starting to dampen. At the same time, that glassy heart was actually starting to crack, like it was about to shatter into many pieces, and that way Hajime's humanity would be disappearing from him. In my opinion, Hajime's time down in the Abyss was actually horrible and terrible what happened to him. And also he didn't deserve to be down in the Abyss, left for suffer. And that was terrible what happened to him down there. And that is because one of his classmates, who is actually the scumbag of the series, named Hayama, he actually fired a fire spell right at him to attempt to kill him. Only because of course he wants to get him out of the way, so that way he can have this pretty girl who actually loves Hajime, named Kari, for himself. Hayama actually wants to attempt to kill Hajime because he thinks, in his opinion, Hajime is a loser. And he thinks that Kari is better off with him instead of Hajime. And that's really awful and disgraceful that Hayama doing that to Hajime. The one thing I like about Hajime Nagumo is his determination and his fearlessness. Hajime's main goal and his quest is to return back to his world. And he wants to go back home after what happened to him down in the Abyss. And if anyone or anything who was standing in his way on his journey and quest, he will actually kill them without any hesitation at all, without any mercy. And throughout Hajime Nagumo's journey across Tortus, he actually encountered many enemies along the way. And those enemies in question are demons, different forms of monsters, and of course the Apostle of God, Noit. We see him in these fearless battles against these opponents who actually stand in his way. And it's absolutely awesome seeing Hajime Nagumo using these incredible powers and weapons to take down his opponent. It's so awesome and badass. I actually have a grin on my face every time I watch these scenes with Hajime Nagumo always beating down his opponent. The female companions that Hajime journey along with, they actually adore Hajime, as well as Kari, who's in love with Hajime. There's another female character who also loves Hajime the most, and that girlfriend in question is Yurei. Hajime freed Yurei when she was sealed away down in the abyss, when she actually told him about what happened to her when she was actually also betrayed, just like Hajime with his classmates. And together, both Hajime and Yurei, along with other female companions such as Shia, Tio and Kari, they journey along across Tortus to acquire these ancient magical abilities from these labyrinths, so that way Hajime has found a way to find the key to return back to his world with his female companions, as well as his classmates, his teacher, and of course others. The female characters who accompany Hajime Nagumo, these girls love Hajime so much, and they also actually worry about Hajime on his well-being and safety. Including 2 out of the 4 girls, Yurei and Kari, they both get worried about Hajime's well-being and safety, and they always get worried about him if he gets hurt or injured or even worse, got killed. They both get worried for Hajime's well-being so much that they actually get in despair if there was something happen to him, or even worse, he would get killed actually. Several instances during the show we see both girls getting so worried, frantic and despairingly seeing what happened to Hajime. But both girls actually want to fight back and defend and protect Hajime whenever something that may happen to him. And they get so much stronger and powerful as the series progresses. Even Kari herself actually wants to get more powerful to protect others as well as Hajime. But Yuri wants to use her abilities to protect Hajime as well as fighting back anyone or anything that will attack her. Another one of the most fantastic things about Hajime and along with his party is that they become heroes in my opinion. Why I say they're heroes in my opinion is because they help out and save the people of Tortus. I have actually mentioned it in my main Arifureta thoughts videos, but this is about Hajime's heroic actions. Hajime is a hero in my opinion, and every time I see him doing heroic things in the anime, and of course when I read the books, I can't help myself but think how incredible Hajime is as a hero, despite he was very weak and worthless at the very beginning. But now with the incredible strength and abilities and weapons that he has, and fantastic beautiful strong female companions that he journey along with, he actually does help out the people of Tortus. Even though I know he's a very reluctant guy, he does actually help, because he doesn't want to make his companions all upset and looking very sad. The one thing that's so deep for Hajime, for him personally, is that he doesn't want to see people around him looking sad and upset. And he loves seeing smiles around him. Smile and love is the most powerful thing in the world. And with love and compassion, Hajime do these heroic things across Tortus. The best things about Hajime's heroic actions is when Kari witnessed Hajime protecting this elderly lady and her grandson who were harassed by a bunch of thugs, and Hajime just stepped in between them. Yes, despite the fact that he was actually bowing on the floor, he actually stand up against these thugs until they decided to give up and walk away. Hajime really protected that elderly lady and her grandson, and that really moved Kari. Kari actually had love at first sight when she saw that heroic actions from Hajime back in those days at middle school. Getting back where Hajime is actually the heroic figure in the world of Tortus, Hajime actually helps many people across Tortus with his female companions. This is one of the best things about the series for me personally, because Hajime and his female companions actually do really help these people. As I said earlier, he's a very reluctant guy, but as I also said, he actually doesn't want to make his female companions upset and sad. He wants to see smiles and happiness around him, and that means a lot to Hajime. And when we see him doing all these heroic things, we see him doing some heroic things such as protecting the lakeside town of Or against an army of 6,000 strong monster army led by his former classmate Shimizu, saving his teacher Aiko twice, first from being poisoned and second rescuing her from the Divine Mountain, saved his former classmates in the Great Orcus Labyrinth, helping the people of Enkaji to get fresh clean water and get rid of the monster that was actually cause of the contamination in the oasis, helped out Shio's family, the Holio tribe, and of course one of the most best heroic actions that Hajime has done is saving a 4-year-old Dagon girl named Miu. I'll be talking about Hajime's heroic actions to save Miu when she was kidnapped by these kidnappers who took her from her mother, and of course talking about the relationship between Hajime and Miu as stepfather and daughter relationship in another video. Now my thoughts on Hajime Nagumo as the main lead male character of Arifureta. I actually am a big fan of this character, and he actually is the most heroic dude, even though he's quite reluctant of course. But as well as his heroic actions, it's kind of upsetting the fact that we see him at the very start of the series, the way he was mistreated and also what happened to him down in the abyss actually. But nevertheless, regardless, he actually has determination to return back home to his world, and no matter whatever or anyone who stands in his way, he will kill them without any hesitation whatsoever. And with the help of his female companions on his quest and journey to acquire ancient magical abilities in these labyrinths, so that way he can get the key to return back to his world, Hajime Nagumo's quest is actually, in my opinion, one of the most interesting journeys to see with a character who's on a goal and quest to actually returning home. As well as that, I really do like Hajime's softer and sweeter side to his character. I mean, the scenes with him and Miu are actually so heartwarming, and I just couldn't help but just get teared up a little bit actually when I watched these two characters together. It's a sort of relationship I will be talking about in the near future in another video, but I must say that it is so sweet and heartwarming to see these two characters as a stepfather and daughter relationship. So yeah, Hajime has got a softer side to his character, and in my opinion it's just so really sweet and heartwarming. But I really like the awesome badass action that I personally like from Hajime, with that powerful smile or grin that he has when he's facing against the most toughest opponent that he comes across on his journey. And I have to admit, every time I rewatch season 1 or 2, whatever episode I'm watching, I always love the awesome badass moments with Hajime facing up against any particular opponent or any army of monsters. So in my final conclusion of my thoughts, I am a big fan of Hajime Nagumo as the main lead male character of this series. I am a big fan of him because he does deliver something that no other main male character that doesn't have. Although there are others in other anime shows that do, yes. But Hajime stands out as the most uniqueness out of all of them. Because he is a beacon of hope. Hope for the world of Tortus. And I will be discussing that hope in another video also in the near future. So yeah, this is my thoughts of Hajime Nagumo from Arifureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. I hope you enjoyed my discussion of the character, and put a comment below, put your thoughts of the character. So yeah, put a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video then. Anyway, bye guys.